Hello, and welcome to the Thirsty Bitches podcast, where we talk about anything under the sun, from books, entertainment, self, and even a little spice. I'm Victoria.
I'm Kiara.
And I'm Katalyn.
And today, we are here to talk about our favorite books ever. Now, I know that we've talked about our favorite books so far within a certain year's time frame. But when I was looking at our calendar for all of the episodes that we were doing, because we've already mapped out through season 4, I realized that we had never done an episode. Oh, yeah, I'm part of season 5. I realized that we had never done an episode specific to our favorite books of all time.
Which is weird that it's taken us this long to get to this point.
Yeah. I know. So that's why I was like, obviously.
Because, like, we talk about our favorite books.
Yeah.
Like, here and there, like, in different episodes. But we never, like, had a specific episode for this.
Yeah.
So I was like...
This was really hard to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was like, what have I read?
No, totally. It's one of the hardest things I think that any of us has had to do. Because, you know, us as readers, we read so much. And to be honest, we all forget a lot because we read so much.
Yeah.
But it's hard to pinpoint what our favorite books would be.
Definitely more I would include if I could remember, but these are the ones.
We also have a limited amount of time. So
that too.
We'll probably do this again as the years go on. Because, you know, things change. Our favorites change.
Like, my list, I have some recent books that I've read.
Yeah.
Like, within the last 2 months. So...
And I know you said that I have a lot, but that's like barely scratching the surface for me. So.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways,
before we get into that, we're going to do our quenchable moments. And if you're new here, a quenchable moment is something happy or exciting that has happened to us over the last week or so that we want to share with each other and with you. So to start us off, Victoria, what was your quenchable moment?
So my quenchable moment is, if you guys don't know, a very dear friend of mine is getting married. I am in her bridal court, as she has been calling it, and
I like it.
My gown just got in. My friend who's helping plan all of this, she lives in Kansas City, so she just got it, and I'm really excited to be able to try it on and see how it looks. So
I'm gonna want to see a picture of it when you get it.
We'll see. Anyways, I'm excited. I've never been in a wedding before. My friend who just got married this last October, they decided to keep it to just family members to be in the bridal party, to keep it really small. So it was just her sister and then the groom's sister. And then my other friend that's married got eloped. So this is the second like big wedding, but the first one with us as friends in it. So yeah, I'm really excited. It'll be a lot of fun. And the bride and groom are different.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, they don't have a flower girl. They have a flower robot.
Okay.
I really like the ones where I see like the guys, like one of his
guys
friends
with
or
like
something, and they're like throwing.
Oh yeah,
they get flower so into it. I'm like,
hell yeah,
this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Or the ones that like walk on the aisle and they pass like drinks out to people instead of throwing flowers. It's like drinks.
That's fun. I've not seen those, but yeah,
I've seen
it's very exciting.
They have like these belts for cans, and they're like pulling cans out of like the belt.
Yeah, I've seen them do the fanny packs with flowers.
Funny.
But yeah, I'm sure I'll have pictures to share. Of course, if the bride and groom are okay with it. But you know, anyways, that's my quenchable moment.
That's fun. Nice. Love that. Katalyn, what was your quenchable moment? I'm seeing right there. You're starting early.
I am. I've started making Christmas gifts.
Oh, damn, dude.
I've already made one for each of you, so.
Jeez. I haven't even looked at my Christmas list yet.
So I have not allowed myself to do anything until I get a job.
Well, because I'm making all of them, so I had to start early.
Yeah. I remember last year you were like stressed on time.
Yes, I was. I'm probably still going to be stressed even though I've started already, but it's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to try and be good as well too. So thanks for motivating me.
I'm also just gonna let our listeners know that this episode comes out mid-September. We're recording this mid-August. She's literally starting making Christmas presents August.
I started stuff at the end of July.
There you go. Everyone's like, decorate for Halloween, end of July. Katalyn's like, gotta start making Christmas presents end of July.
After this episode, I will show you why I had to start. Because what I'm making for a group of people, you guys I'm not making for you guys. So.
Okay.
So you're not going to show us our gifts?
Obviously not.
Why would I do that?
I don't know. Maybe I want to see it.
No.
I'm not going to show us, you goober.
Anyways, Kiara, what's your
goofy
quenchable
goober
moment?
To you? My quenchable moment is another gift that I received from Summer. She brought 2.
I see the name, and I'm super excited.
This was supposed to be my Christmas present this last year. I just didn't get to her in time, so she forgot to send it to me.
Yep.
It is an Elder Emo dad hat.
My question is, are you bringing it in October?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be like my part of my outfit. Duh.
Perfect. Oh, I need to buy that.
So I was really excited when I saw it. I was like, oh my fucking God. She was like, it's you. I'm like, it's us. Katalyn, me too. Because I'm just like, I think about it and I'm like, no.
I'm the oldest, yes.
I'm like, I am definitely like in the group of like, I need to wear running shoes to help my knees at shows now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, obviously, I know how to handle shows because I went to Warped Tour and I went to all these pop punk and punk rock shows and everything growing up. And so at Taylor Swift, I was like, don't walk out your knees, make sure you're drinking water, be careful you're bouncing on concrete. And I still hurt afterwards. I'm like, my body cannot handle this anymore.
I was fine after Red Rocks, but
I have those Dr. Scholl's white sneakers that look like super cute. I have those saved. I'm like getting those because I got to be responsible, especially with all of my knee problems. So,
So
can't just get any random pair of white tennis shoes anymore.
I know I may not be an elder millennial, but I am an elder emo, and I am a senior citizen. Scene gang, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's my quenchable moment is my elder emo hat. Everyone knows I love a good dad hat. Y'all know I love a good dad hat.
Yeah.
So
that's a good one. Very cute. So as you guys know, I've been on a health journey, and with that, I've been looking for tools and products to help me get my health back in check. One of the things I've really been focusing on is staying hydrated, and a product that's really helped me with that is Liquid IV. In just one stick, you get 5 essential vitamins and 2 times faster hydration than with water alone. It's also come in super clutch when I'm out and about, and I realize I haven't hydrated well enough. Plus, it's super convenient to keep in my bag or in my car in case of an emergency. Right now, you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code STAYTHIRSTY at checkout. That's 20% off of anything you order when you shop for better hydration today using promo code STAYTHIRSTY at liquidiv.com. Stay thirsty, bitches. Well, on to something else that we all love. Books. I will be honest, I pulled deep from the archive on this one.
Yeah, you did.
And I only have 2. I have technically 3 fan fictions on here, so no one gets to complain about me talking about fan fiction.
I thought this whole thing was going to be fan fiction for you, in my opinion.
I mean,
I didn't think it would be.
I tried to rein it in.
The way you were talking about looking for them, I'm like, it's all going to be fan fiction.
Okay, well, here's the thing. When I first started reading fan fiction, I was reading on fanfiction.net, and at one point, actually, this has happened twice now, because fanfiction.net is not crowdfunded like AO3 is, they have ads. Because they have ads, they have to follow certain guidelines. And so they purged a lot of stuff that was mature. And I've been hoeing since day one, so I was reading mature stuff in high school. And a lot of those are gone now, and I'll never find them. And I've thought long and hard about going onto Reddit and being like, can anybody find this? Can anybody tell me what it is? So I might do that one day, but it's just the great purge of fanfic.net. A lot of fics are gone.
Did I ever tell you guys?
The authors ever repost them, we'll never see them again.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you guys that I was written into a fanfic?
No.
No?
How did that happen?
My friend wrote one about, and this is me leaning into my emo aspect. My friend wrote one about Pierce the Veil.
Oh my gosh.
And I was Mike the drummer's girlfriend.
Nice.
God.
Did I read it? Absolutely.
Of course.
Oh my god.
That's just a little tidbit off to the side there.
Yeah. So
it's on Wattpad if anyone ever wants to find it.
I was never a Wattpad reader. You guys know that the one time I tried to read something on Wattpad, it was an illegal copy of Hush Hush, which I did not know at the time of reading.
I read it on Wattpad too. I didn't realize it either.
I did not know that it was pirated. Do not read pirated books.
Yeah, that happens a lot on Wattpad.
But yeah, so I pulled really deep, and the books that I chose were books that changed me as a reader. So they were very integral to me in my reading process and why I read the way that I do now. So that's my backstory. How do we want to do this? Because we got a lot.
We do. I don't know. We normally just like go through each of our own lists, but I don't like how we do that sometimes, and we each have like so many.
Yeah.
No, you should have seen it. 6. You should have seen it. I was on here this morning changing something, and Katalyn just wrote and I'm like, get it together, Katalyn.
Like, I technically have 11, but I cheated, and a lot of them are series.
And then she wrote one of the last ones, and I wrote, didn't that make you cry?
And I wrote, yes it did.
Yes, it did.
I don't know if you saw my that's rude when you even told me to get it together.
Get it together. And you're like, rude, obviously.
Rude. I'm sad I missed that. My computer was acting up when you guys were doing that.
I always find it so funny because it's always Katalyn and I that find each other on these documents together.
Yeah.
We always write to each other.
Because I never fill out the outlines until right before we start. Anyways. Well, I mean, we can do back and forth because I know that a lot of these we all enjoy.
Yeah, let's go 1-1-1.
Okay.
And then it'll just end with Victoria finishing off her list at one point at the end.
Yes. Okay. Sounds okay. So I'll start. The first one, and it is because of this fanfic duo that I read the way that I read now. Like when I say that this series altered my brain chemistry, I am not joking. It showcased to me that fanfiction work is a valid art form, and we're so incredibly lucky to have fanfiction authors.
And a lot of authors say, like, you know, they even say, like, you know, when you're writing your books, go write fan fiction online too, like to help you stay in the writing mindset but get away from what you're actually writing. It like will help with the juices. Well, and also a lot of authors just start as fanfic authors naturally anyway. I mean, some of the biggest known authors out there are fanfic authors. Naomi Novak.
Yeah. It just I cannot think
Stephanie Meyer.
There's only one other thing that altered me in the same way. And again, it was another fan fiction, and I'll probably never have like the same kind of relationship with another work that I do with this. It is Perception and Silver Lining by an author named Cynchick. As far as I know, Cynchick has not published any other works on any other platform. And these fan fictions came out in, I think, like 2008.
Oh, wow.
They're old.
Dang.
I read both of these in high school, and it is a Naruto fan fiction.
Nice.
Perception is, I was a big Sakura girly, so I paired her with pretty much everyone but Naruto and Sasuke. At first, I paired her with Sasuke,
I was
but
also
then
a Sakura girly. I was also not a Sakura girly. People hate on her. I'm just like, she is one of the strongest, of the absolute strongest ones in the entire show. Shut the fuck up. Sit down.
Yes, especially after post time skip.
Yes. Yes.
but I'd be shipping with her with everybody. But Perception is a Sakura Itachi story. It's really fucking good. It's so good.
It's weird now because obviously she's married to Sasuke and has kids with
Fuck
him.
Sasuke. I still stand by the fact that he should have died.
Listen, we all know I'm an Itachi girly.
It's really good, Kiara. If
bae.
they're honestly, I know, like, I joke all the time about me wanting you to read Hermione, but if there was ever a fan fiction that I would really truly want you to read, it would be this one. It is so good.
I love Itachi.
It's so good. And then the follow-up, Silver Lining. It is not a Sakura Itachi fic. I will not tell you who it is. It is centered around Sakura. But it's really good. That shit truly did just, like, change the way that my brain worked. So good. I could talk about this fic all day.
I'll have to look it up.
And I'm planning on rereading it. Oh, I have it open on my phone already.
Maybe you can bind that for me and I'll read it.
Maybe. But it's really good. Anyways, that's my first one. That
I love
shit
Naruto.
changed me.
Love
that.
Naruto.
Nothing has changed me in that same way. That's not true. Manacled did.
I was like,
before Manacled, that shit had altered me in a way that I cannot explain.
Okay.
It's really good. Anyways, sorry, Kiara. On to you.
So when I first did this, I wrote, "My mind is emptied." What books? What have I read? Don't know. Can't think of shit. What are books? What are words? Who reads?
What is reading?
What is reading? But then obviously I had to put my core 4, which are the ones that I read growing up. Twilight, obviously. That's a big one. People hate on it now, but that is an all-time favorite for me. I reread it all the time. Are there way better books out now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Obviously.
Writing changes over time. Like, there's going to be better things that come out. But Twilight was such a integral part to my growth, especially since I read it in 7th grade. Like, such like a change in my life. I was 13. So much was happening, and Twilight was a big part of that.
I think that's a true statement for most, if not all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry Potter, for me, is going to be different than it is for everyone else. Most of you read it as kids. Obviously, as if you guys have gotten this far into our podcast, you know that I read it for the first time last year. And I think the reason it is so important to me is because it has helped me kind of reconnect with my inner child in a way, and kind of just like touch on the things that I kind of missed out on as a kid. Sans J.K. Rowling. We don't support her. We love Harry, not her. Vampire Academy. I actually wrote Vampire Diaries on here for some reason. If you can, I wrote the fuck what did I write?
I was like, I don't
Diaries.
know.
Never read it. Never read Vampire Diaries. Don't know why I put that on there. I changed it this morning. I'm like, no. Vampire Academy, as you guys know, big fan of Vampire Academy. I think it really changed my view of how I read paranormal books and fantasy books, because obviously for a while I was like, oh, Twilight is end all be all, and then I read Vampire Academy and I'm just like, there is so much better work out there. And it really opened me up to kind of ingesting more different things and better things, and like being open to reading things that I probably wouldn't have read before. And then of course the A Court of Thorns and Roses series by SJM rounds out my top 4. How could it not? It's there. I know you have one of them on your list, so we'll talk about it more then, Victoria, because I think for everyone that's probably their favorite book in the series, but I think the series as a whole is really integral. I know yours is different, Katalyn. You're an outlier.
Yeah, I was like,
for me,
it's
so
still
like
part of the series.
I think
it's
obviously
still part of the series.
For me, my favorite is the same as Victoria's.
Oh, I love
because
I love that one, but like
I'm a Reese girly through and through. You're not, but I think just the series overall, like I think we can all agree that out of the three, Throne of Glass is probably like the most well done, but ACOTAR is the favorite because
beloved.
because of how the romance is written.
So it's a true romantasy.
Yeah. So those are my core four to start me off, because I feel like they've all done so much for me in such different ways. I just wanted to like throw this all out there at once.
Yeah.
I just really love the fact that the first one that Katalyn has the fan fiction.
I did this morning because life. But the first one is it's the first fanfic that I was able to like read within like 2 days. It's not the first fanfic I read, but it's the first one that's like stuck with me, and it's The Right Thing to Do by Love's Bitka 8.
Which is also Renee's favorite fanfiction.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It is very
love.
good.
I'm not gonna get as deep on these as you guys have, so
I really only wanted to get deep on that first one because I think because that first one says a lot about me as how I am as a reader.
I think for me the core four is like I just wanted to those ones I read.
So these ended up on the list as my favorite because they're books that like something will like just trigger like the random like scene or thought from it. So that's really the only reason. And yeah, I think about that bookstore a lot.
Yeah,
and that one. But.
Okay, well, I'll be a lot faster from here on out. I promise.
No, you're good. I'm just saying I am not that deep.
Yeah, but like I said at the beginning, these are the books that shaped me as a reader, and that's why they're on here. And I don't have these in any particular order, except for no, they're not in any particular order. But the next one that I have is actually a series. It's the Mediator series by Meg Cabot. It's one of her YA series. It's not well known at all. Meg Cabot, of course, is mostly known for the Princess Diaries. But this is a series where I accidentally read the last book first.
Okay.
Because it was the only one that was there. It was at my library, and it was the only book that was there, and there was like no indicator of the order in which the book was supposed to be read.
Okay, sidebar. Authors, you need to put what book it is in the series, because I hate looking at a series and like trying to look at the back and see what order it's in. Like, you gotta stop doing that. I need to know on the book if it's the first, the second, the third, the last. Like, I need to know because this is getting confusing.
Yeah,
please
just put little numbers.
Yeah, just put a little Roman numeral.
Yeah. But this book kind of kicked off. Well, it didn't kick off. It was when I was deep into my early like paranormal phases, and this was one of the books that just reaffirmed for me like paranormal is my genre. So
nice.
Yeah. On to the next.
Where am I? My next one is Red,
No
White,
one will
and
be
Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston.
No one is surprised by.
This one I will get a little deep on. This was my first LGBTQIA+ book that I had ever read. Up until that point, it was always a woman-man relationship. So this was the first time I read a book that it was male. And it really just like opened up. Like with Vampire Academy, it just like really opened up like a whole new variety for me. Really got me into it, and now I love books. I love all of Casey's books. I read DJ Clune, anything that Renee will recommend to me because she loves books like this too. I love reading just LGBTQIA+ books. They're so amazing, and I give all that credit to Alex and Henry. They are my babies. I love them so much. I will always that will always be my number one book in this genre. So that is one of my all-time favorite books. I've reread. I mean, you have to know it is. I wrote my master's thesis around it. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Fun fact, this is also my first published MLM book. I say published because obviously fan fiction, it's a very queer space.
Yes.
There are queer relationships abound because there wasn't a space for it for published media.
I mean, Vanessa's out here talking about dreary, so we know.
Oh yeah,
we know.
True. That's true.
Get her talking about Merlin one time. See what happens.
I can imagine, especially if it's based off the show.
Anyways,
I'm just gonna piggyback off of that. I also have Red, White, and Royal Blue on my list. I just really liked it. I don't know that just something struck a chord.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was like the contemporary setting or what, but it has stuck with me. Yeah.
I just loved how belligerently oblivious Alex was the whole time to the fact that he is in fact queer.
We know.
Yes.
We know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, Katalyn, it's obviously contemporary. It's happening in our time. And it's like you're kind of growing with Alex in this sense. And I think that played a large role in why I loved it so much.
I don't know. It's just, I read it because we like picked it, I think, when we were doing our own little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's another
Summer
one that like,
had
just
that like
me.
100 slide
presentation.
Which I still have not seen.
It's huge.
It's so good. But yeah, I think it's just something that just I read at the right time when I needed it, and it's just stuck with me. I keep staring at my signed copy right here. It's just
I have like 3 signed copies, and I'm like, I can't believe you have that. Give it to me.
I even put the note from my friend in there where it said Casey thought my name was beautiful, and so I'm like, I have that forever. Anyways,
cute.
It's a vibe.
Okay. So my next one, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about one that Kiara also had on her list. The Ember Quartet by Sabaa Tahir. We also did a catch up for this one. This is another one that like really shaped the way that I read things. It's just fantastic and
painful,
brutal, and beautiful. Also, shout out to Sylvie for making Elias an Aquarius.
I was so excited.
I know she did that shit for me, and I even told her
my baby.
Like,
that's my baby.
Yeah, it's a great series. I highly recommend it. I recognize that it is emotionally very stressful. So make sure you take into consideration your mental state as you read it. And if you do have to take breaks between the books, do so, because they are a lot.
Yeah.
But it's so good.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I'm going to just go off of that. And obviously it's on my list. And it's a newer read. I read it this year. This year? Last year? This year?
This year.
When the fuck did we read
it? This year.
Jesus.
This year.
Yeah, I started reading them after the second book had been released. So I had to wait for the last 2.
Yeah,
which was fucking brutal.
It was emotionally distressing at times, but the story was just so beautifully done that it is something that I have yet to stop being able to think about at times. Like it'll just like come up, and I think a book that does that is it deserves to like be recognized, because obviously we don't get a lot of the outcomes that we want. It's like a kind of happy ending, I guess. Ish. But it was just so well done and so heart-wrenching that it really sits with you, and that's why it's on my list. Katalyn.
Yep. Mine, A Court of Silver Flames, I'm just a Nesta girly.
We know.
It almost made me cry. Almost. I haven't reread it since it came out, so I feel like if I reread it,
I can't.
I'm gonna be a mess.
People are out here rereading Crescent City before the new book, and I'm like, absolutely not. Too much.
I've read House of Earth and Blood like 3 times. I've cried every single time.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's just I see a lot of myself in Nesta, so
yeah. I haven't read Akasif since it came out. I just remember being I was like that Tyra Banks meme at one point. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. I was so mad at one point. I do need to go back and reread it though, at least for theory's sake. So, but I understand how important it is, especially to the Nesta girlies. seeing that representation, especially with her journey. I'm definitely not a Nesta person. And let me say this, I don't hate her. Just because she is not my character doesn't mean that I hate her. Let me clarify this, because there have been many instances in which I have said stuff like that. And they're like, oh, well, you must just hate her. No, I don't. She's just not my character. Anyways.
And that's okay.
I fully recognize how important of a book it is for some people.
Yeah. It's not my favorite book. And I think for me, people are like, oh, I'm a Nesta girly or I'm a favorite girly. And like, for me, I see myself in all three sisters just because where I sit precariously in my family. I am the oldest daughter. I am the middle child. And I am the child that had to take care of my family when things kind of fell apart. So I kind of take on the characteristics of all three. And I think that that's why I can't make a decision based off of them, because I see myself in all of them. I like the way that Nesta handles herself in the beginning of Silver Flames and her journey to finding these friendships and finding her own circle, and the way she does it like is very reminiscent of what I had to go through. So you know, I kind of see myself in all three of these women. And so I really can't. Akamath is my favorite though because of the romance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's just.
I'm also a Cassian girly, so it works out nicely.
I'm a Reese baby, maybe Asriel. We'll find out.
Oh, I'm an Asriel bitch. But
I think we're all Asriel bitches.
There we go.
Everyone,
perfect.
Cassian's an Asriel bitch too. We're fine. Everyone's an Asriel bitch.
But Cassian's the biggest himbo for kids.
Anyways. But yeah, Kiara and I both love Akamath. Akamath is on my list. Up until that point, I hadn't seen a lot of representation of going through that mental health journey. It was really different, and I really love the romance, and I like the time that they took. I have never been a fan of insta love, and I just really appreciated it. It was really good.
I think the fact that it was always her choice, that like Reese would have been fine just being her friend, her confidant for the rest of their lives, if it just meant that he could be around her. And be in her life. You so rarely see that with men in real life. And so to kind of see that in a book, I think that really just like that sits really well with all of us. So that's why I love Akamath. Yeah. Is it my turn? Am I next?
Yes, go for
it. From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata.
I like that she got closer.
I love this book. This is kind of along the same lens of like, I don't like insta love. I think I want to see a relationship built out. I also am like a big enemies to lovers girly, because I think for me internally, I want someone to like over everything, doesn't like anyone else, still chooses me regardless. I have to go see a therapist. I understand. I realize. I mean,
bitch, why do you think I've been balls deep in Hermione for the last like 3 years?
Anyways, from Lukov with Love, Mariana Zapata is known for her like extreme slow burns, like fucking like they don't even kiss until the last like 10% of the book. So I love that shit. I love a really built out relationship. From Lukov with Love was not my first Mariana Zapata, but it is the one that has stuck with me the most and that I reread all the time. So yeah, everyone go read Mariana Zapata.
One day.
Yeah, one day. My next one is a duet by V.E. Schwab. I forget exactly the name of the duet, but the two books are This Savage Song and Our Dark Duet. It's YA, has monsters, it's fantasy. It had a twist I did not see coming.
Oh, wow.
Which, I mean, I'm pretty blind when I read, so, like... But It's a different concept because a lot of the book has to do with like music and like these different monsters, and it's like a dystopian kind of thing. I don't know. It's really good. Plus the covers are really pretty. Well, the original covers. She's rebranded them, but they're somewhere over there.
I like Mead Shop a lot.
Yeah, I've read several of her books. I haven't read all of them, but yeah.
Nice.
I just like it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not as deep.
That's okay. I'm gonna do one of my other like super important ones, and then I'll do the last ones like rapid fire because we're running on time. The other one that like really changed me in an integral kind of way is of course Manacled by Senlinyu.
Oh my god, are we surprised?
No one's surprised.
Okay, but it's good.
And
you know, I would make the joke of like you always bring Hermione up in an episode, but I feel like you haven't brought up Hermione in a minute.
Yeah, because somebody likes to talk about the fact that I bring up Hermione all the time, so I've stopped talking about it.
I do.
But yeah, it's just beautiful and tragic, and Sen just really has a way of bringing forth these emotions as you read, and it's just so good. And she's currently writing another fic, and I've read most of it, and I'm terrified.
Uh-oh.
So, because
that's not good if you're scared.
It's so far it's not as dark as Manacled was, but it has the potential to be. So,
Manacled's dark.
Yeah. So, it just altered my brain chemistry. It's just really good. Kiara will never read it. That's okay.
It got me on the fanfic bandwagon.
Listen, I know how it ends.
Yeah. Oh, you know how it ends. Anyways.
Oh my god. It's all capitals.
Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarns.
I'll get there one day.
Man. You in Fourth Wing.
I kid you not. Like, I hate when people say, oh, this book is like this, or oh, this book is like this. This book made me feel the same way I did when I first found ACOTAR. It's not this, like, obviously the book is completely different, but it has given me those same feelings that an SJM when you first find it gives you. Like, for me personally.
That makes me scared too.
But that's like a personal thing for me. Like, it could be different for everyone else. But for me specifically, this book really, I have made it my whole personality. I've become obsessed. And I haven't done that since ACOTAR. Okay. So, so that one is...
Sorry, I was going to say, speaking of Fourth Wing, if you guys haven't seen yet, Steph has been officially licensed.
She has sold Instagram, so many.
Yeah, her Instagram handle is @S_hold the bus.
Hold the bus.
Her covers are beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. I follow other authors and they're like, oh my god, I want to buy these. They're so gorgeous. And I'm like, that's one of my girls. Like, I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're gorgeous. I'm like, I know. So super proud. I think we could probably post the link in this episode to her shops. So if you guys can't find it, we'll have it here. Because she makes gorgeous art, not just for Fourth Wing, but like for things across the board.
Oh yeah. Y'all remember that rune art that went viral a while back of him in the bathtub? That was her. Like existential crisis.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Since you said rune, I'm just gonna say Crescent City.
Yeah.
I've reread it 3 times, even though I cry every time. It's
my friend is just now starting Crescent City too. So
I'm not ready for book 3. I am and I'm not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm scared.
Well, yeah.
Everyone should be scared. She told us to be scared.
I'm worried for Rune.
I don't know what the fuck's about to happen.
But yeah, it's SJM, so like
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I also really love Crescent City.
it's
I
funny,
can't talk about that end scene without crying, so I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah. When I scroll through like my pictures to like find something, you can see when I read Crescent City because it's just a bunch of fan art they saved.
You can tell when I read Crescent City 2 because it's the bonus chapters in my camera roll.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's just the age of the characters and like all that really struck a chord. And the trauma, but you know, that's whenever I ever go to therapy.
Oh man.
All right. Do we want to rapid fire these last ones that we've got, Victoria?
Yeah.
I have one.
You have one, so you're going to finish us off, but Victoria and I have a couple.
Okay. So a lot of these I've read when I was younger. The first one is Blood and Chocolate by Annette Klause. I read that in high school. That shaped how I read. That started my paranormal journey. There are many, many books that I've read after that are great, and I will always have a special place in my heart for that book. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins.
I think all of us could probably say that one as well.
Sophomore year of college.
I was in high school.
I was in college when it came out, and
it was okay.
I started reading after the second book came out, so that was a big moment.
I was a junior in high school.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So my dad had just left. My dad had just left, and I needed something to like help with me mentally, and I read The Hunger Games.
Yeah. The next one is the Charley Davidson series by Darynda Jones. I read that series in my mid-20s. It's one of my grandma books. Really love it. It's so good. I love the main character. She's quirky and weird and funny, and she's the Grim Reaper, and it's great. The Parasol Protectorate by Gail Carriger. This one influenced me into really loving the steampunk Victorian paranormal style books, so I'm always on the lookout for those.
And you just reread it recently too, didn't you?
Oh, I reread it every couple months. So I really love that series, and Gail Carriger is a fantastic author. Virals by Kathy Reichs. It's a YA, but it could also kind of be like upper middle grade. The main character, I think she's 13 or 14 when you start. It's paranormal adjacent. It's a very cleverly written series. There were a lot of unexpected twists and turns in it. And I think it's a great representation of an adult author venturing into like the YA younger spaces. Highly recommend it. I like to reread them occasionally as an adult, and they still really hold up over time. And lastly, literally anything by Ilona Andrews. I love Ilona Andrews. She's a fantastic author. I really want Kiara to start reading some Ilona Andrews books. They're so good. I think you would love her as much as you love Elise Kova. She's also an HEA author.
I know I love a good HEA. I'll love a good HEA.
And she ticks a lot of your boxes. So, love Ilona Andrews. 10 out of 10 would recommend. She's great.
Is it my turn?
Yes, that's it.
All right.
My entire list is done now.
I only have 3 more. The first one is Howl's Moving Castle. It's a classic, in my opinion. If you have watched it, if you've watched the movie, you will love the book, in my opinion.
It is different.
It is different, but it's still so beautiful, and it's probably like the only book to movie adaptation that I am okay with, because they're both done so beautifully that it doesn't affect me very much. So everyone should read it, in my opinion. It is a YA, and it's a really quick read. I finished it in a day when I first read it.
Oh yeah, it's super short.
Yeah. 2 other books that I finished in a day recently. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. Holy crap.
I've heard good things.
I need Ruthless Vows so bad. It is so beautifully done. And like, you guys know I don't like timepieces very much, but this one is just so beautiful and so iconic. I want to reread it. Like, it's that great. And then my last one is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This one came out, I think, last fall, but it's just now getting its kind of
traction.
Yeah, very good. The it's a duology. The second one also comes out this fall. It's got magic. It's got astrology aspects, but not. It's like tarot cardy, but they're not tarot cards. I don't know. Fucking wild. So good. I need the second one. But Divine Rivals and One Dark Window are like, and Fourth Wing, obviously, are brand new additions to this list. They, especially Divine Rivals and One Dark Window, I feel like have really changed like my brain chemistry.
Yeah.
Like, it was wild reading those. I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, that's my list.
My last one is Always in December by Emily Stone. Mostly because it made me cry so viscerally hard. I saw what was going to happen from a mile away. Still bawled. Just
I find that so funny because you're not a crier.
That's when she wrote that down. I'm like, didn't that make you cry?
It did.
And not just cry, but like cry.
Katalyn was unwell, and that's not normal.
Yeah.
Over books.
Over a
Yeah.
book.
Over a book. Yeah. But I mean, she just writes really well, and like the whole storyline was just really good, and it was predictable, but I loved it, and I might reread it just to feel something.
Oh God.
Or I could reread House of Earth and Blood and feel something as well.
You know, you gotta take the feelings where you can.
I feel too much. I don't need that.
I feel too many things.
Yes. I boxed my emotions away, but that's discussion for a later day.
God. Well, those are our lists for now.
For now. They'll change for sure to an extent. Like I said, we'll revisit this topic obviously, because there are many more from my childhood or my teen years that I want to talk about and add. But yeah, let us know what some of your favorite books of all time are. Let us know if any of the books that we brought up are some of your favorites as well. You can hit us up on Instagram at Thirsty Bitches Podcast. You can comment on our TikTok. And you can also email us. We have all of our contact information in our description. So make sure to use that. But for now, Kiara, will you take us out with an affirmation?
I will. So today's affirmation is, I trust that I am right where I need to be right now, and that anything I want to happen will happen when the time is right.
Oh,
nice.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Make sure to tune in on Tasty Tuesdays and Thirsty Thursdays for all new episodes, and be sure to subscribe and follow our socials listed in the description. Please make sure you like, rate, and leave a review for the podcast to help boost us across platforms. Helps more than you know. Have a lovely day. And remember, stay thirsty, bitches.